give me just a moment and we will do this. And we will come up here and do this. It looks like we are back. We are live. We are live on the Boogie with the Bull YouTube channel, and we are live on the Dave Glovin profile on Facebook. Terrible things are happening. It looks like Amazon Web Services lost the internet for a while, and they couldn't find it. And when they found it, we were able to come back, thanks to the folks at Restream for doing a wonderful job. It is Monday, the 20th of October, 2025, and yes, we are still shut down. The Schumer shutdown continues, and I don't know if it ever will correct itself. The Democrats are still blaming Republicans for not adding now $1.7 trillion in spending to a bill that is a clean resolution. That means you don't add anything to it, especially $1.7 trillion. President Trump is doing the best that he can in his ability as president to shut down non-essential programs and move the money to essential programs that he needs, working to make sure that people who work for the military in any way or people connected to military pensions are getting their money. That is very important because our House and our Senate have not been able to work, and they probably should not get paid until they are able to fix this. Chuck Schumer will probably retire from the Senate, will no longer be minority leader of the Senate. Who he will be replaced by, I don't know. I wish it would happen right now. I wish the Democrats would kick him down as far as Senate Minority Leader goes and bring someone in who could come up with the 5 votes that we need to bring this to an end. 60 votes is what we need. It would allow our government to continue. Unfortunately for them, programs that are now out of money and not essential to our government would be shut down. And the Democrats might have to start again on those programs. But, if you have to go to Mozambique to get a circumcision, well, you probably weren't going to go to Mozambique anyway. If they were funding them in the United States, I might feel differently, as long as they were going to American citizens. If you're an illegal immigrant, as I have said before, you don't deserve our spending money on you, period. You don't deserve a new phone. You don't deserve a new tablet. You don't deserve to live for free, because we don't live for free. We get new tablets and we might get new phones, but we don't live for free, so why should you live for free? I'm sorry. But food costs money. Farmers have to make money to refill and keep going. And it's time that the Senate Democrats act like adults and just bring this thing to an end and reopen the government. They're going to have to, as I said earlier, start over again with things that were decided to be non-essential services. Anyway, that's your daily Schumer update. And then we move on to gas prices, as I said, are starting to come down. President Trump is calling for $2 gas prices in the very near future. It will take some time, but I think we're getting there. Let me know what the gas prices are where you are, and let me know what food prices are where you are. And see if they are coming down. Rents, I'm not really sure what will happen with rents because in a lot of cases you're looking at property that needs to be rehabbed from the previous tenants, and landlords are going to have to invest money and they're going to look for some of that money back. So rents may go up for a bit and then come down for a bit, or rents may stay down for a bit like they should. I don't really know. We moved 2 weeks ago and have great landlords and have not had any problem with rents going up. And we're very happy where we are. And so hopefully we've hit that jackpot. As I said in the green room talking to Real Cat Turd this morning, there are some things that need a lot of work in this country. All the opportunities to work with you if you have $10,000 worth of debt need to, in some cases, come down to what about the people who have $5,000 in debt? They need the same kind of help. Will all of this lead to the end of the Federal Reserve Bank? Well, that has yet to be seen. Or changes within the Federal Reserve Bank that maybe benefit the actual consumers. I mean, we closed the Consumer Finance Protection Bureau because it really wasn't protecting anybody. So, something that will protect everybody. And I'm not asking for organizations, banks, or whatever to look at what anybody owes and say, no, you don't have to pay that money back. No, but, adjust the fees that you've collected. Adjust the fees that you can collect. Bring things down to where they should be. And then maybe some of us will find that we're getting a little bit of a break and things are getting better. I'd love somebody to come along and pay the debts that I have, but that doesn't happen. And I don't want someone to come along and do that. I want to be able to do that. So we'll see what happens in that nature too. As far as big companies, BlackRock buying up every bit of land that they can buy in Los Angeles and building houses, well, your price is going to probably go up if you rent one of those properties because that's how it goes. But you should not lose your home because of a weather problem in the United States. If your whole neighborhood burns down, you should get some help if you want to build your home again in that area and make some improvements on your home and be safe. But nobody listens to me. Gavin Newsom is running around the state and running around the country saying that Donald Trump is a terrible person and shouldn't be president. Well, maybe he'll be able to prove that one day. I have kind of lost faith in Governor Newsom, other than thanking him for not vetoing SB 771 in California, which was sort of going to give them complete control of the internet. If you said something they didn't like, they would be able to find a social media company that carried you $500,000 for your saying something they didn't like anytime, and asking that your algorithm be changed so people in California couldn't see it again. And if they didn't change it, $1 million the next time. That social media network who owns the algorithm would have to make more than $100 million a year. And, we're just going crazy. It doesn't work that way. The internet is free speech, and you have a right to say what needs to be said. You have a responsibility for some of the things that you might say, but you have a right to them. And gun control, stop this. Gun control, the problem with guns is that bad people get a hold of guns and they do bad things with them. Good people get a hold of guns legally and they don't do bad things with them. And that's okay. Our founding fathers did not say you could only own muskets. They knew that the AR, after the revolution, guns would come around and they would be better, and that's what you would want to own for protecting yourself and protecting your family, and you had a right to do that. Very plain, very simple. We could keep repeating all of that stuff every day on a Boogie with a Bull, but you don't really need to know or hear all of that stuff every day. So if you want to join me on a Boogie with the Bull, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, we're on at 8:30 a.m. Eastern. On Fridays, we do our Red Friday morning caffeine military salute that extended to now include ICE, the National Guard, state and local law enforcement, as well as first responders, because you have a tough job too. So if you're the family of a person above that I mentioned, you're more than welcome to come on and talk about them on Fridays. You are also given the same right if you have people in the military, or if you're in the military, you have a couple of minutes to say hello to your people. If it's your birthday, you always have a right to come on and talk with me. And if you don't, hey, we'll get the information and I'll go on and talk about it with you. And if you're 100 years old, like Willard Scott used to make a big deal out of it on his Today weather casts and other things that he did, 100 is a big deal. It is a big deal. So come on and tell me what you did for 100 years. Tell me what you're going to do in the next 100 years. I mean, we really don't know how long we're going to live. We're told that the average lifetime is 120 years, but hey, it may be longer. Maybe longer on Mars. It may be longer wherever. But, we got to break bread and get along with each other. Work on the things that we agree with 100%, and work on the things that we don't agree with 100%. And try to get it all on the same page where we agree to this and we agree to that, but we're working on it. I still don't think that Russia walking away with Ukraine's natural resources is a right solution to make this thing stop. I'm sorry, I don't. But then again, you have to agree to that as far as Israel and Hamas go. Hamas right now is bombing the hell out of and doing this and that to people, and now Israel is back doing the anti to that. Hey, we got to stop. War is just an outdated means of nothing. Okay? Sit behind the table and get it done. I mean, you can get it done. As President Trump has said, you can get it done. We will help you get it done. And we just need to get it done. Anyway, I'm Dave Glovin. You're not. I don't see anyone joining me this morning, so I'm going to end it just about 15 minutes and 30 seconds into it. If you have an idea for a Boogie with the Bull broadcast, please message me on Facebook Messenger. And if you don't use Facebook Messenger, then you can contact Boogie with the Bull. BOOGIEWITHBULL @gmail.com. boogiewiththebull.com. Otherwise, reach me on Facebook Messenger, and we'll go from there. We'll find a time that's good for you, that's good for me, that's good for everybody, and we'll do it. Tuesdays and Thursdays at 7 p.m., we will come back from time to time, but we really have to have something to say. Really have to have something to say. I just think that's where we are. To come on and just have fun and crack jokes and do whatever. Yeah, maybe that's important from time to time. But in the 7 o'clock hour, Tuesday, Thursday, if we come on, we really need to have something to say. And a bunch of people that want to join me and have say in the matter. I'm working on my past where I would interrupt people and or talk loud over them, and the only way I'm going to work on that is if there's other people on the broadcast with me. So you're always invited to join me on a Boogie with the Bull, whether it's 8:30 in the morning or it's 7 o'clock at night, or it's a time that works for you, that works for me also. We have this beautiful, like I said, we have this beautiful 8 gigabyte Windows 10 Pro Dell laptop that we found in a box. I don't know what I was doing with it before, but I do know what I'm doing with it now. And Windows 10 is not supported, so if you know Windows 10 inside and out, and you're comfortable with any desk, and you're comfortable with me, and I'm comfortable with you, we will give you the opportunity to go in and tell us about it. Good morning. Robin Brunson is on her lunch break, and it's a pleasure to have you watching, Robin. It always is. Robin is the lady that will tell you about Fat Cup Coffee Company, and she will try to convince you that they are the best cup of coffee in the world. She might even, if you are really good, she might send you a pound of it that will convince you that they are the best. And she doesn't even work for these people. She just will spend money out of her own pocket to convince you that Fat Cup Coffee is the coffee you want to put in your cup and drink every time you drink coffee. And I think we've gotten Boogie with the Bull under control, and I may even talk to them myself if they want to talk to me. If they don't want to talk to me, I fully understand. But we need a coffee company at 8:30 in the morning that will join us. Saturdays at 10 a.m., we need a cup of coffee that will join us from any company in the world that wants to trade some kind of an announcement for good coffee. I like an Italian dark roast, like decaffeinated sometimes, and I like flavored sometimes, hazelnut and others. I do not like pumpkin spice, which I know everybody drinks in the month of October as they get ready for Halloween. But, I do not like the smell. I do not like the taste. There are other things of pumpkin that I like. I can deal with pumpkin pie. I really like pumpkin bread, pumpkin muffins, but put it in my coffee cup and I don't want anything to do with it. So sometime come on and tell me if you like pumpkin spice and you can drink it year round. More power to you. If you are a coffee company, like I said, a cup that has your name on it would look really good on the Boogie with the Bull set. I'll even put it on camera. And that way I don't have to plug the one Boogie with the Bull uncensored cup that is in a styrofoam shipping container because I haven't decided what I'm going to do with it. I have one, but I haven't decided what I'm going to do with the other one. So you have a chance to own that one. Maybe. I don't know. You can either buy it from me or we might just give it away. I always said that when I couldn't afford to do this any longer, I would just stop because I didn't want to charge you for seeing this broadcast. I don't want you to buy stars, thinking that's the only way I will see your comment. I didn't want you to worry about paying for Boogie with the Bull to continue. But we are at that point quickly. We're trying to avoid it as long as we can, but we're at that point where Restream costs us money, so maybe we have to ask for some help. X and Rumble, if we wanted to expand, would cost us money. About another $19 a month for both of them, and with Restream it's $19 a month, and things are just kind of happening that we might need some help for. I have to see if I can do it all myself, but we might have to start asking for some help. So if you see it and you can help, please feel free to help. And if we ever talk about it too much, tell me and we'll go on to something else, because I really don't like talking about it. I never started this ministry 4 years ago so that I could be rich and famous, because I already was rich and famous at one time in my life. And it's overrated. I'm not rich, and I might be famous. I don't know. Facebook helps us be global, and maybe I am rich and famous, or at least rich. I mean famous, but it's overrated, really. We just come here and tell you the honest scoop from what's going on in the world. We never tell you how to feel. We just tell you some views that you might want to consider. And like I said before, if you want to come on a broadcast and be a part of it and tell the world how to feel and options that they should consider, well, then come on. You don't have to be a Republican. You can be a Democrat. You can be a this. You can be a that. I don't really care. You get an opportunity to tell whoever is listening around the world your story, and that's the best I can do. Otherwise, I'm come on here and tell you how I feel for 30 minutes, because that's the way it is. So in the final 7 minutes, again, which I say is too much, but again, we're on Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 8:30 Eastern normally. If there are problems, hey, we might be on later. It's 11:50 a.m. right now, but like I said, Amazon Web Services had problems, Restream had problems, and we're finally here. So I'm very happy that everybody seemed to get their stuff back in order as quickly as they could. I wish I could get my mouth in order sometimes, but these things happen. That's just where we are in life. So if you want to come on, please feel free to come on at any time. You can just tell me to shut up and ask for a link. And if you have Facebook Messenger, I will send you a link and you're all set. Really, that's how easy it is. We don't bash other people. We don't want to bash other people. We don't want to be involved in bashing other people. We're just people that come together and pass a view to you. And you can consider which view you believe or which person you want to like or not like. It's really that easy. I want you to watch Michael Anthony when he's on. You'll learn a lot. Right now he's working on climate control and chemtrails again, learning more and finding more to tell you so he can share you more. So pay attention to the Michael Anthony page and look at Ray Fagans, who I call Brother Ray, Patriots Lab. Patriots Lab Uncensored, whenever they are on, please pay attention to them. Ray, the actual and factual guy. So please pay attention to him. Even pay attention to what is going on the American Rebellion. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday at 7 p.m. Eastern. Why? Because sometimes just sitting on your back porch with a bunch of friends and smoking a cigarette, if that's what it is, or drinking a beer, if that's what it is, a bunch of people just talking, they might get the right idea that saves America. And if it does, great. More power to you. So pay attention to the American Rebellion. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday at 7 p.m. Eastern. We share it usually in the Boogie with the Bull Uncensored group and in United Patriotic News. And if the rest of the groups want it, we'll put it in them too. We'll even put it in other groups. So pay attention to that one too. At 5 o'clock Eastern, watch the Jim Price Show Daily Update. And you'll laugh, you'll cry, you'll laugh and cry, you'll cry and laugh. Just a bunch of people doing the same thing, listening to Jim and hearing a unique perspective that you don't hear from anybody else. When we started this thing 4 years ago, or when I started this thing 4 years ago, it was mentioning people on in different hours than me. I was on at 11 o'clock in the morning then, and I wanted you to know what was on at 7 o'clock at night, because maybe you put your kids to bed and you and your wife had time to sit and listen, or you'd find time. Kids get older and you put them to bed later, or you go to bed later, or you go to bed earlier, and you watch things when you can. But we will tell you things to watch. Anyway, I'm coming up on 29 minutes, so I'm going to say that's probably it for this morning. I probably repeated things a few times, which means I'm sure that you got them. And my wife, Donna, just sent me a message that said strange, and then I don't know. Again, she couldn't reach me this morning, or I just had trouble reaching me this morning from where she was at work this morning, and thought that our internet might have been out, but no, our internet was on. We just couldn't do Boogie with the Bull because we could send it to Restream, but Restream couldn't send it to Facebook, and they couldn't send it to YouTube, and I appreciate that they got that fixed. We have 2 destinations right now. We might actually have 3. I don't know. If we have the 3rd, then we got to kind of try to figure out what we're going to do with it. And if we don't, then we're just going to keep sending it to YouTube and Facebook and taking it from YouTube and putting it on other social media as a podcast, if that's what we have to do. But we want everybody everywhere to be a part of this. So join me if you want. Don't join me if you don't want to. But anyway, it's coming up on 30 minutes now, and we promised that we would not go over 30 minutes. So I'm going to slide up and hit this one and tell you, go have a fantastic weekend coming up. Well, actually, now that I remember, it's Monday. Go have a fantastic week leading into a fantastic weekend. And, things will happen that will take care of problems that you have, and you will be happy. I go and get an eye shot tomorrow morning, and maybe tomorrow morning we'll tell you about that before I go and get one. I don't feel like talking about it right now. Anyway, I'm Dave Glovin. You are not. And I'm here like I said, 8:30 Monday through Friday. Oh, actually 8:30 a.m. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and some Saturdays. But maybe every day at 8:30. We won't be here on Sundays. We're going to take Sunday off because you have to go to church, and I have to do whatever I have to do. I don't want that to sound bad, but I have to do what I'm going to do, and you need to go to church, and I want you to go to church at 10 o'clock Mass because 10 o'clock Mass gets you out in time to go see a football game. So on Sundays, you probably won't see us on, and we'll go from there. Anyway, I'm Dave Glovin. You're not. Thank you for the privilege of your time. I'm going to hit this one, give you double V's for victory, that this Boogie with the Bull